Have you ever felt your legs heavier at the end of the day, even without making much effort? Have you noticed that climbing stairs requires more concentration than before? Or that standing up quickly from the couch causes slight imbalance? Many people consider these signs a normal part of aging, but this can be a serious mistake. What seems like simple fatigue may actually be the first sign that your legs are starting to fail. What few older adults know, and what almost no one talks about openly, is that the loss of muscle strength in the legs doesn't happen all at once. It is gradual, silent, and deceptive. A small discomfort here, a bit of instability there, a stumble narrowly avoided. At first it seems like everything is under control, but the reality is that your body is already crying out for help. Most falls that occur after the age of 60 don't happen by bad luck. They are preceded by a series of signals the body sends, and unfortunately they're almost always ignored. These signs are in the legs, in how you walk, in how your muscles respond, in what you feel when standing up or trying to maintain balance. Your body warns you when strength is fading. You just need to learn how to listen. In this video, we'll reveal the 5 main symptoms in the legs that indicate your muscle strength is collapsing. These are clinical signs, studied in the field of aging medicine, that indicate a high risk of functional loss, falls, and even fractures. But don't worry, you won't just learn what these symptoms are, you'll also learn what to do to reverse the situation before it's too late. Imagine the following scenario. You wake up one day and your legs feel wobbly. You go to the bathroom and notice your gait is shuffling, unstable. You see a doctor, do some tests and receive the diagnosis. Your muscles are atrophying. That doesn't happen overnight. It's built gradually, through years of inattention, and avoiding that scenario starts today, right now. This video is a warning. It's a call to action. If you're in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, you need to watch until the end. Because what we're going to show here could save your independence, your safety, and even your life. No cane, wheelchair, or surgery can give back the strength you lost due to neglect. But the good news is, there's still time to act. Pay close attention to each of the 5 symptoms we'll discuss. Write them down, reflect on them, and above all, if you identify any of them, don't wait for things to get worse before taking action. Imagine that inside your legs there's a strength reserve, like a muscle savings account. During youth and adulthood, this reserve is usually full. Even if you go some time without exercising, your muscles can still support your body, maintain balance, protect your bones, and ensure firmness in every step. But after the age of 60, this reserve begins to slowly and silently drain. And the most dangerous part, it shows no obvious symptoms at first. This process is called sarcopenia, the natural loss of muscle mass related to aging. It especially affects the legs, as they are the most demanded muscles for supporting the body. What few people know is that this condition is not merely an aesthetic concern or a simple feeling of weakness. Sarcopenia is directly linked to falls, fractures, hospitalizations, loss of independence, and even premature death. The big problem is that sarcopenia doesn't hurt in the beginning. It doesn't sound an alarm, nor does it cause symptoms intense enough to prompt someone to seek medical help right away. That's precisely what makes it so dangerous. The person notices they're slower, more tired, begins to use furniture for support, avoids stairs, shortens walks, and gradually adapts, assuming all of this is just normal for their age. The truth is, it's not normal to feel weak, unbalanced, or insecure when walking. That is not part of healthy aging. What's actually happening is that the body is losing muscle fibers and motor neurons, the very ones responsible for controlling the muscles. And this loss, if not identified and countered, leads to a collapse in mobility. Sarcopenia doesn't come alone. It walks hand in hand with osteopenia, loss of bone density, poor circulation, joint stiffness, and social isolation. It weakens the entire body. And in most cases, it all begins with small signs in the legs. That's why identifying these signs early is so important. They're the warning that your muscle reserve is running out, and that it's time to act before the balance goes negative. The good news is that sarcopenia is treatable. With the right actions, which we'll present in the upcoming sections, It's possible to stabilize and even reverse part of the muscle loss, but everything starts with awareness, with paying close attention to the symptoms you may be ignoring in your daily life. In the next few minutes, you'll discover the 5 main signs your legs give when they are beginning to collapse, and more importantly, you'll learn what to do immediately once you recognize them. Sign number 1. Feeling of heaviness in the legs. Even during light activities, you wake up, get out of bed, walk to the kitchen, and already feel your legs heavy, as if you had climbed a hill, even without real effort. This is one of the earliest and most overlooked signs that something is wrong with your leg muscles. This feeling of heaviness may seem harmless at first. Many say, "I must be tired," or "it's just age catching up." But the truth is, this recurring complaint usually indicates a progressive failure of the endurance muscle fibers, the ones responsible for sustaining strength throughout the day. When the red fibers, which are rich in mitochondria and oxygenation, begin to weaken, the body starts to tire from tasks that used to be automatic. This happens for several reasons: sedentary behavior, poor circulation, protein-deficient diets, and especially the lack of continuous stimulation of the leg muscles. This constant fatigue and heaviness have nothing to do with being out of shape or overweight. Many slim and seemingly active seniors also suffer from this symptom. The explanation lies at the cellular level. Over the years, there is a decline in both the number and quality of the muscle mitochondria, the components responsible for generating energy. Less energy means more fatigue. More fatigue leads to less movement. Less movement results in more muscle loss. It's a destructive cycle that must be broken. Additionally, this sensation of heaviness can be related to circulatory problems. When blood doesn't flow properly through the legs, the muscles don't receive enough oxygen and begin to fail. Venous blood, loaded with toxins, also takes longer to drain. The result? Legs feel swollen, heavy, and lifeless. It's as if every step becomes a difficult task. This symptom is more noticeable at the end of the day or after periods spent standing. Some people describe their legs as feeling like 2 stones or as if they're dragging chains. Others say they need to sit down constantly, even during short walks, because the discomfort becomes unbearable. This is not normal. This is a warning sign. The problem is that by ignoring this symptom, people naturally start to move less. They walk less, climb fewer stairs, avoid going out, and this behavior by itself speeds up muscle loss. In a short time, the person doesn't just feel tired, they experience instability, lack of strength to get up from a chair, and even fear of falling. What to do? The first step is not to accept fatigue as normal. It needs to be investigated. Seek out a geriatrician, a vascular specialist, or a physiotherapist who specializes in mobility. They can request simple tests, such as a leg strength assessment, a 6-minute walk test, or even a vascular ultrasound. It's also essential to review dietary habits. Muscles can't survive without protein. A poor breakfast, for example, compromises muscle recovery from the very start of the day. And aging muscles require higher protein doses than younger ones, something few doctors explain clearly. Another key point is the practice of resistance exercises, even light ones, such as repeatedly standing up from a chair, climbing low steps, or doing mindful walking. The key is consistency. 20 minutes a day is more effective than 1 hour once a week. Finally, watch for signs like swelling, bulging veins, or a burning sensation in the legs. These circulatory symptoms need careful evaluation. The combination of muscle weakness and poor circulation is a ticking time bomb for falls and fractures. So if you wake up with heavy legs, don't ignore it. Your body is asking for help, and the sooner you act, the greater your chances of recovery. Sign number 2, loss of stability when turning or changing direction. Have you ever felt unsteady when doing something as simple as turning your body to the side, changing direction while walking, or turning to look behind you? This type of instability, which may seem minor at first, can actually be one of the most serious signs of failure in the motor control system of the legs. Throughout life, the brain and muscles maintain a very precise relationship. Quick commands, coordinated movements, instant balance adjustments. But with aging, this communication begins to fail, and often The first evidence of this appears when turning or making short pivots. This happens because to turn the body safely, the leg muscles, especially in the thighs and calves, need to contract quickly and in harmony. Additionally, the vestibular system, responsible for balance, vision, and proprioceptive sensors, which inform the brain about body position in space, must all be functioning properly. If any of these components are compromised, the body loses stability during a turn, even when standing still or walking slowly. The danger is significant. Most serious falls in older adults do not happen during long walks, but rather when turning, shifting position, or reacting suddenly to a call. This movement demands more from the body than many realize, and when the muscles fail to respond with strength and precision, the result can be a sprain, a fall, a fracture, or something even more serious. Another factor that worsens this symptom is joint stiffness, especially in the ankles and hips. If the joints lack sufficient mobility, the body loses its ability to adapt quickly, making turns unsafe and uncoordinated. Out of fear of falling, older adults may start avoiding turning, walking through narrow spaces or moving fluidly. The result is reduced mobility and a domino effect of physical and emotional deconditioning. One important detail: loss of stability when turning often goes unnoticed at first. The body adapts gradually, compensating with slower movements, using support, and taking shorter steps. But this silent adaptation doesn't solve the problem. It only hides it until the first accident happens. What can be done? The first step is to observe. Do you feel like you need to think before turning? Have you ever felt like you were going to fall when turning suddenly? Have you had to grab onto furniture or walls to change direction? If the answer is yes, this symptom needs to be addressed as a priority. Specific exercises can help, such as balance training based on directional changes, like walking in a zigzag pattern, doing controlled turns in place, or standing on one leg for a few seconds. All of this helps reprogram muscle reflexes and reactivate the body's stability systems. It is also essential to strengthen the core, the muscles of the abdomen, lower back, and hips. When these muscles are weak, the body loses its center of gravity and the risk of imbalance increases. With proper guidance from a physiotherapist or a physical education professional specialized in older adults, much of the lost stability can be regained. Another important tip is to check your visual health. Changes in peripheral vision, depth perception, or focus also affect your ability to maintain balance when turning. Sometimes, a simple adjustment in prescription glasses or an eye exam can make a big difference. So if turning your body has become something that requires extra attention or causes insecurity, do not ignore it. This is a clear warning that your foundation, your legs, and your balance system is asking for reinforcement. Sign number 3. Difficulty standing up from a chair without using your hands. You may have never given it much thought, but the way you get up from a chair says a lot about the strength, coordination, and health of your leg muscles. If you struggle to stand up without using your hands for support, this is a clear sign of muscle weakness, especially in the quadriceps, glutes, and calves, which are essential for safely bearing the body's weight. In healthy aging, the body should be able to perform this movement using only the legs. However, what happens to many older adults over the years is that the muscles lose power and responsiveness. As a result, simple tasks like rising from an armchair or toilet seat become increasingly challenging. Many people begin pushing off with their hands on the chair arms, their knees, or a nearby table to compensate for this lack of strength. In some cases, they even use their torso for momentum, leaning forward almost in a controlled falling motion. These strategies may seem like harmless tricks, but in reality, they reveal a functional failure of the lower limbs. More than just a strength issue, this symptom involves neuromuscular coordination, balance, and joint integrity. When the body can no longer support its own weight without assistance, it means there is a deep compromise in leg function, and the person may be just a few steps away from depending on a cane, walker, or even a wheelchair. What's more, difficulty standing up is strongly linked to an increased risk of falls and fractures. A study published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society showed that older adults who are unable to stand without using their hands are twice as likely to experience a fall within the next 6 months compared to those who can. In other words, the body is already signaling that autonomy is at imminent risk. It's essential to understand that this symptom should not be seen as normal for aging. It's a physiological warning sign. And the sooner it's identified, the greater the chance of reversing it through rehabilitation and strength training. What to do? First, test yourself safely at home. Sit in a firm chair without cushions, feet flat on the ground. Cross your arms over your chest and try to stand up slowly without using your hands. Were you able to do it? Great. Did you struggle or fail to do it? That's a red flag. Rehabilitation starts with exercises targeted at the muscles responsible for this movement. Supported squats, hip bridges, knee extensions with resistance, and even the simple practice of standing up and sitting down several times a day, under supervision if needed, already yield significant benefits. Consistency is key. Diet also needs to be adjusted. Include more high-quality proteins such as eggs, lean meats, natural yogurt, and legumes, and maintain adequate levels of vitamin D and calcium, which directly influence muscle strength and health. Proper hydration also affects muscle contraction, something often overlooked. Additionally, consulting a physical therapist is essential. This professional can perform functional tests, such as the sit-to-stand test, which accurately assesses the muscular capacity of the legs and develops a gradual and safe strengthening plan. Therefore, if standing up from a chair has become a challenge, don't accept it as irreversible. You can still recover much of your strength, prevent falls, and maintain your independence for many years. But this requires action now. Your body is giving you signs. The answer is in your hands, or rather, in your legs. Sign number 4. Tremors or instability in the legs when standing for long periods. Have you noticed your legs beginning to tremble after standing for a few minutes? Or perhaps you feel a slight vibration, a weakness that seems to come out of nowhere and takes over your knees and thighs. This instability, which some older adults describe as wobbly legs or feeling like jelly, is one of the most alarming signs that the supporting musculature is giving out. What's happening in this moment is a failure in communication between the nervous system and the muscular system. When the muscles can no longer maintain a firm contraction for long enough, the body resorts to small involuntary movements, tremors, as a way to compensate for the loss of stability. This is more common in people who spend long periods sitting with little daily muscle activation. This instability can also be worsened by low levels of magnesium, potassium, and calcium, essential minerals for muscle contraction. Unfortunately, most older adults consume less of these nutrients than needed, either due to a restrictive diet or reduced absorption caused by intestinal aging. Furthermore, some common medications, such as diuretics and blood pressure drugs, also contribute to this loss of minerals, leaving the muscles more vulnerable to fatigue. And what begins as a mild tremor can evolve into dangerous falls if not addressed in time. Treatment involves first and foremost correcting the nutritional imbalance and replenishing minerals with professional guidance. In parallel, it's essential to strengthen the muscles with isometric training. Exercises where you hold a position for several seconds, such as balancing on one leg or holding a squat. This trains the muscles to support weight for longer and progressively reduces tremors. Sign number 5. The sensation that the feet don't belong to the body or feel disconnected. This symptom is more common than you might think, and also one of the most dangerous. Many older adults report feeling that their feet are strange, numb, or unsteady. It's as if they lack firmness or complete control of movement. Some even say they have the impression that their feet are going to stay behind when they try to walk faster. This type of disconnection is a serious warning from the peripheral neuromuscular system. In practice, it means that the nerves responsible for carrying commands from the brain to the feet are functioning poorly, whether due to compression, degeneration, inflammation, or poor circulation. The condition is known as peripheral neuropathy and can have various causes: diabetes, vitamin B12 deficiency, alcoholism, prolonged use of certain medications, or simply the aging of nerve endings. And when the feet stop accurately transmitting information to the brain, the body completely loses its ability to react to obstacles, uneven surfaces, or changes in flooring. The risk of falling multiplies. This sensation of disconnection also impairs balance. The brain begins to receive less data about the body's position in space, and as a result, it can no longer make the fine adjustments needed to keep you standing. It's like trying to balance while blindfolded. Treatment depends on the cause. If it's a vitamin B12 deficiency, supplementation can bring improvement within a few weeks. If it's diabetes, glycemic control is essential, but regardless of the origin, proprioception exercises for balance and body awareness and physical therapy are indispensable. Ignoring this signal is a serious mistake. If you feel that your feet are acting strangely, respond slowly or seem numb. Seek medical evaluation immediately. This is one of the most dangerous symptoms your body can give you. What to do before it's too late. Immediate action and safe recovery. Now that you know the 5 warning signs indicating potential progressive failure in the legs, it's time to consider what can be done to stop this process before it becomes irreversible. The good news is that even after age 60, 70, or 80, it is possible to regain strength, balance, mobility, and independence. But this doesn't happen through rest, much less over time. The only real way to improve is by taking consistent action with professional guidance. The first step is to consult a trusted doctor, preferably a geriatrician or a family physician experienced in functional aging. They can request basic tests such as a blood count, nutritional evaluation, hormonal profile, and vitamin D and B12 levels, as well as investigate whether there's any neurological, vascular, or orthopedic impairment. After that, the ideal path includes physical therapy and functional strengthening exercises tailored to your condition. This isn't about heavy gym workouts, but rather guided activities like assisted squats, supervised walking, balance training, and specific stretching. These practices can be done at home with simple equipment and deliver concrete results within a few weeks. At the same time, it's important to review your diet. Healthy muscles and nerves rely on a diet rich in lean proteins, deeply colored vegetables, healthy fats, and proper supplementation of vitamins and minerals. No fad diets or trends, just deep nourishment to restore what time has worn away. And finally, understand that you don't have to face this challenge alone. There are professionals ready to help you. Rehabilitation isn't only physical, it's emotional. Every step regained brings back self-esteem, security, and freedom. If you've made it this far, congratulations. Knowledge is the first step. Now choose one symptom that you recognized in yourself and start there. One step at a time. Your health will thank you. Your legs will too. Maybe you've identified with one or more of the signs we've discussed. Maybe you're thinking of someone in your family who keeps saying their legs feel weak, who is tripping more often, or who is avoiding going out for fear of falling. Or maybe you haven't felt anything very noticeable, but now you understand that the body gives early warnings, and ignoring these signals is a risk no one should take. The truth is, the collapse of the legs doesn't happen overnight. It results from small signs that were overlooked, habits that seemed harmless, sedentary routines that gradually took hold. The good news is that this process can also be reversed, rebuilt step by step. If you're still watching this video, that already says something important. You care about your future, about your freedom, about your health, and most of all, about your right to age with dignity, strength, and independence. Now it's time to act. Don't wait for the next fall to seek help. Don't wait for the pain to stop you. The earlier you move, the better your chances of protecting your muscles, your stability, and your quality of life. Prevention is the real secret to healthy aging. And no, you don't have to do this alone. The first step should be to consult a specialist physician, such as a geriatrician, physiatrist, or orthopedic doctor with experience in functional health. These professionals can request tests that reveal nutritional deficiencies, muscle alterations, circulatory risks, and even hidden nerve injuries. Additionally, they will be able to recommend a rehabilitation plan fully adapted to your reality and current capacity. If possible, Also seek out a physical therapist or fitness trainer who specializes in seniors. They will teach you simple, effective and safe exercises, which can be done in your own home with visible results in just a few weeks. Believe me, regaining strength in your legs is not a luxury, it's an urgent need, and it's completely possible. From now on, try to adopt a new perspective on your body. Observe yourself. Pay attention to how you walk, how you get out of bed, how you handle stairs, how your legs feel at the end of the day. Your body speaks, and it wants to be heard. You don't need to become an athlete or join a gym, but you do need to move regularly. You need to eat more consciously. You need to sleep well, drink enough water, and allow yourself to receive professional help. These are simple actions that, together, provide real and tangible protection for your health and independence. Share this video with someone you love. It could be your father, your mother, a neighbor, or even a friend who's always complaining about leg pain. Sometimes, a single new piece of information is enough to prevent an accident, a trauma, a hospitalization. Be the person who passes this information along. And now I want to hear from you. Which of the signs did you recognize in yourself? What do you intend to change starting today? Write it in the comments. I read them all, and I might even respond in an upcoming video. If this content helped you in any way, like the video, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. That way you'll receive new videos with practical guidance to strengthen your legs, protect your heart, and live with more energy, autonomy, and confidence. Thank you for staying with me until the end. And remember, the future of your legs is not written. It will be built by the choices you make from today onward. And I'll be here to help you every step of the way.